I am a student at Indiana University Scully School of Business. I am currently majoring in marketing, consulting, and business analytics.
I'm the growth manager for Arc Reactions. It's a full service digital marketing agency in Calgary. And so we do everything it's a full service solution right from branding through to digital marketing and revenue enablement.
The definition of marketing is like evolved over time because you've been in the industry for some time now.
My first attempt at marketing was 2013. I had a first aid training company. At the time, Google ads were just becoming a thing. Google was really starting to develop as part of people's regular everyday repertoire. And so putting together ads, like just really clunky, like get first aid training ads, very basic text ads, they worked. And it was crazy to see that back in 2013. And for me, that was like, wow, this is the future. Now you fast forward 7 years and people have become immune to ads. They look at ads and they're just like, yep, cool. I know that's an ad, scroll right past it. Now we're into the world of influencer marketing, social media campaigns. You need to really create a tribe that's interested in your brand and that supports and is aligned with your mission, your vision to be able to successfully sell.
I don't think people want to just buy a certain product. They want to buy your story. I think every brand sort of needs to really build that relationship, go out there and, be like connect with the customer and just be there when they're ready to buy rather than, pushing ads or pushing their products in the face because, well, the market is saturated in that sense and it's just not going to work. So even if you like look at bigger brands which essentially do mass marketing like Coca-Cola, they did this little thing with like names on the bottles and they customized it. They tried to like make it more personable. And I think those kind of brands are the ones that like win and succeed and grow in the 21st century. Like my friends who are from here, I try to find their name and send them a snap. And if I'm like, if I live on the same floor, like a couple times, I just bought that bottle because I found their name on it.
To remember distinctly, as a person who drinks Pepsi, I love Pepsi. I remember converting, going to the store and looking for a Coca-Cola bottle with my name on it just because I wanted to have a Coca-Cola bottle that said Alex. Over the next 3 to 5 years is, you're moving away completely from that advertising, that traditional outbound cold tactic playbook that you had, to now you need to have a relationship. There has to be something more than just a product or a service that you're trying to sell. Following along with the Travis Scott McDonald's
my
campaign.
friends went at 12 in the night the day it released. Everybody stayed up and they went at 12 in the night because they were like, oh, they might run out of it or something.
They did.
They did. They went at midnight.
Yeah, in multiple locations, they've run out of the Travis Scott. And I thought, when you look at the tactics, right, it's a hamburger with barbecue sauce.
Yeah.
You're paying a premium. You're paying $1.50 more for the Travis Scott branded version of a hamburger with barbecue sauce than you normally would have paid if you just order the regular. But we're paying for the brand at this point, which is, Travis Scott, kudos to him. He's taken what started as the Fortnite concert, getting a viewer base of 12.4 million people to attend a digital concert, and just continuing to steamroll off that. They really took the time to sit down and think about, okay, how do we want this generation, how do we want to turn around and have them connect with our staff? So you look at the way that McDonald's staff have been trained, there are actually key phrases actually used to order that meal, right? And the staff are trained to recognize that. One of them, and please don't quote me here, but I believe like one of them was something along the lines of, it's time for sicko mode, like something that he would have said in the Fortnite concert that people will recognize.
Yeah.
That's part of the ordering process. And McDonald's took the time to train their staff on that. So, they've got the branded jerseys, they've got the branded shirts. There's really an entire campaign, and not one piece of this has any outbound cold ads, which I think is it speaks to where we're going in the future. If you really want to have an impactful B2C strategy, it has to be done in such a way that you're building a community.
Just to like add to that a little bit, so I've had McDonald's in India, I've had it in the US, and then I went to Europe for like a vacation, and I've had McDonald's there, and it's completely different. So the
Really?
menu, what you get, yeah. So in India, like vegetarian, major part of the population is vegetarian. Like I'm vegetarian,
Right?
so
Okay.
I can't practically eat anything at the McDonald's in the US because there's not a vegetarian option. But in India, there are like a bunch of vegetarian options. In Paris, it's mainly, I think it was all beef. Again, that there wasn't any vegetarian option in Paris either. And Meg Cafe was a bigger deal there. So in India, they didn't have. So I went when I was like 12, so like 2012, 2013.
Yeah.
And that time they didn't have. So like because my family's vegetarian, so like having food was like very difficult. So we saw McDonald's and we thought, oh, hopefully they'll have something. But we could only have fries. And Meg
Oh,
Cafe was a huge thing. And in 2012, India didn't have a Meg Cafe.
did at the landing page in the B2C transaction. And I realized that for a lot of people, that might be a very edgy, touchy subject and kind of a loaded statement to hear landing pages are dying.
People don't want to take in the effort to sort of first see your product on Instagram and then click on a link, go to your website, find the product, then click on purchase, and then go through the whole process of buying. People just want to buy it when they see it. Essentially, basically, the more options that you put in the buying process, people experience decision fatigue, which sort of reduces the likeliness of them purchasing the product. And I think essentially businesses need to stop making their website their ultimate go-to landing page. It should be a process where people can just buy from whatever or wherever they are, be it Instagram, Snapchat, whatever social media they're most comfortable or your brand has the maximum presence on, and essentially make the user experience and customer journey as simplified as possible.
Mic drop. That's it. I love it. And I so much agree with you. At the end of the day, as a consumer, I can think of a couple purchases I've made recently. None of them were intentional. Not one of them. I saw an ad for something that was really interesting to me. It was focused on my area of search or my area of interest, which is mountain biking. And the specific case was a pair of pedals, which $250. There's a lot of money to spend on a pair of pedals, but they're magnetic and they clip in. So there's no longer like a tongue and groove lock. There's now a magnet. So here I am. I'm scrolling through Facebook, minding my own business, and this ad shows up. Oh, hold on, I gotta see this. So I scroll back up and I click on the ad and I watch the video. And within 15 seconds, I had just spent $250 on a set of pedals. Best purchase I've made in a long time. But to your point, if I had been forced to go through a traditional funnel and go to a landing page, fill out some information, then turn around, go to a store, it wouldn't have happened. The ability to make the purchase right there, it was very seamless. It was all done in less than 15 seconds. And I didn't even have time to really consider, do I really want to spend $250 on a pair of pedals? The answer is yes, absolutely. Shout out to MagPed. They did a phenomenal job. But, with that seamless transaction, I didn't even have time to really consider. It was just so instantaneous. And that, to your own point, is, I think, the future of shopping in B2C. Stop trying to push people down a funnel or a path they don't want to go. Allow them, wherever they are in the journey, to make the decision right then and there. This is where I want to buy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I absolutely agree. I think in everything that you said, the key is that it literally took you 15 seconds to
Yeah,
think that you need it and you bought it.
yeah.
So I think it's not about your funnel shouldn't be your website that, oh, you need to have like 100 people visit your website. Your funnel should be every single platform that you have a presence on. And essentially, right now, it is important to have presence on all channels if you're a B2C business for sure. So every platform that you are on is your funnel.
Conversations, we had talked about Google My Business. And, we're talking about multi-point, you're stopping along your journey or anywhere along that journey could potentially become a buying decision. The company I work for, Arc Reactions, you can see here we're using what's called the Google My Business card. And so this allows us to actually showcase all of our products, all of our services right here on Google. Now people are seeing what our different categories are, all of our reviews, statements from ARC. We're posting on here regularly, different work we're doing, different strategies for people. This all provides exceptional SEO value. And what at the end of the day, we've also got all of our profiles linked. So now you as a potential searcher, Now we're in obviously in B2B, but you as a potential searcher are able to find all the information you want before you ever leave or before you ever come to my
Ooh,
website.
yeah.
And I'll tell you, I personally, as a consumer, even in the B2B world, I am so in tune with what's going on here. What is it that people are saying about your business? Because I don't actually care what reviews or comments or portfolios you have on your site. I want to know what people are saying about you in real life. And this gives people that information and that opportunity. And here's an example. If I'm looking for graphic design or any kind of service, well, boom, I can find it. I can get all the information. I can make the phone call or that initial contact right from Google. I don't have to go to your website anymore as a business. And coming back to B2C, this becomes even more powerful because now you look at shopping and you look at the, obviously there's not going to be any arc reactions shopping
Yeah.
tags, but now you have the ability to have, so let's go, we'll continue on that example of bike pedals. Watch this. Boom. Everything's there. And it gives me
Yeah.
all my categories, my pricing selection. Google has now taken and consolidated all those different e-commerce sites that I traditionally would have had to have combed through individually, and they put it in one centralized place for me. I'm making my decision here. I'm making my purchase here. It's all streamlined. This is the future. So, it just really reinforces that point of when you think about that B2C consumer customer journey, you have to be able to, or you have to provide the customer the opportunity to purchase at any stage. And the
Mhm.
traditional channels that we would have thought about, like e-commerce or getting somebody to a website to have to use your e-commerce site, it's not the case anymore.
Do you think, having making the buying process so quick would actually increase buyer's remorse? Because isn't it like ultimately impulse purchasing? So when you look at it later, you're just like, oh, did I really need it? Or did they like trick me into buying?
Oh, what a good question. So staying on that example of Magped sold me in the first 6 seconds of seeing the ad. I knew subconsciously I was buying their product. The reason for that is I am an avid mountain biker, and one of the biggest struggles I consistently have getting my feet in and out of clips at high when traveling at high speeds. So that first opening clip of someone moving their foot off the pedal seamlessly, I didn't care how much money. I really didn't. It was a matter of like literally take my money, take my credit card, you can have it, it's fine. Um, and what they did was they gave me a solution. And I think that if you're creating value-based products and you're taking a jobs to be done lens when you're developing your products to start with, that's going to turn around and give you a product at the end of the day that you're not going to develop buyer's remorse, even if you have this seamless, really quick sales transaction.